take us away for the Kraken section.
All right, let's do it. So on July 1st, the team re-signed Gustav Olofsson. Seattle extends defenseman on a one-year, two-way contract at $750,000 AAV. Will help anchor Coachella Valley Firebird squad on the 7th and 8th. The NHL Draft, which we had been leading up to for the last few weeks, and it's finally come and gone. So on the 7th and 8th, the draft, of course, round 1, 4th overall, we got Shane Wright, who I believe was supposed to be, wasn't he prospected at number 1?
Yeah, though the big thing
Yeah.
heading into this draft was, obviously we got number 4 overall, which is fine. I mean, top 5 picks is pretty good, right? But I mean, Shane Wright was a guy for years. Even before this, he was projected to go number 1 overall. Was kind of a consensus for that top spot, as you mentioned. Wright. So he fell to us all the way at 4. And I remember watching the draft from the Mariners game, and I believe the first 2 picks were defensemen from Slovakia. So cool for Slovakia hockey. But then number 3, I believe Logan Cooley goes to Arizona, and it's like, hey, you're sitting there at number 4, and this guy's fallen to you. So it's like,
Yeah.
you feel like you got away with highway robbery there. I don't know about you, and again, with hockey, I was at a lot of those Kraken games last year, but this is still a sport that I'm growing with. In any draft, if a guy is slated at number 1 and he falls to you, it feels good. I don't know. I mean, we look at just some of the overview here, and I think next week we'll do more of an in-depth draft recap. But he captained Team Canada to gold for the U18 team. He's 18 years old. He's 18, and he was projected to be the number 1 overall pick. So put that in your mind. 32 goals and 62 assists last year. It's a guy that is successful. And so to have the top 2 centermen in the last 2 drafts on your roster, and Matty Beniers and Shane Wright now. And interestingly enough, I read a story that right after Wright was selected, Beniers was asking the team to get his number because he wanted to connect with them. Beniers threw out the first pitch yesterday at the Mariners game, and Wright was with him. So these are guys that, I mean, Wright stared down, as you can see in the notes, he stared down the Montreal Canadiens table at the draft once he was selected. So it sounds like he's got a pretty good chip on his shoulder. I mean, this is what you want as an expansion team. Obviously, you get some of the top guys that should anchor your team, once they're ready to. I know Beniers had I think he had 9 points in the few games he played at the end of the year last year. Wright is a rookie, was going to be a rookie, right? But, you're setting yourself up for success. And I believe that was the whole idea with all these draft picks. I mean, I don't know, that's 11 draft picks we have here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm happy with this, just the right pick, let alone everybody else. The second pick, this round 2 pick, I'll let you get to here in a second, that gentleman was supposed to be in high regard too. So a lot of people are saying this is a great draft for Seattle. Obviously with drafts, you've got to let things play out. But at the end of on paper, it seems good. So I'll let you get to it, but I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I remember seeing a tweet right after the draft saying, hey guys, good morning, we have Matty Beniers and Shane Wright on our team. So yeah, that's really exciting. There were 4 number 2 overall picks. 35th overall was Jagger Firkus. 49th overall is Janny Nyman. Please correct me if I'm saying these wrong.
Oh yeah, no, I'll do my best, but hockey names are always tough.
58th overall was Nicholas Coco. 61st overall, David Goyette. And that wraps up the second round. We move on to round 3. 68th overall, Ty Nelson. 91st overall, Ben McDonald. 100th overall was Tyson. Oh, that's 4th round. Sorry. So moving on to 4th round here. 100th overall, Tyson Jugnoth. 123rd overall was Tucker Robertson. Moving on to the 6th round. 164th overall, Barrett Hall. 7th round, 196th overall, Kyle Jackson. So that wraps it up.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I'll just say it again. I'm really happy with that draft. And it'll be really interesting. So starting today, it's already taken place. The Kraken are holding the Kraken development camp up at Kraken Community Iceplex. So it's open to the public. So if you want to get out there and do that, go ahead. I'll be there on the 13th and 14th for those last two games when I don't have, like the Storm game is at noon tomorrow. I don't know what that's about. Otherwise, I'd be there tomorrow. But I'll be up there for that. The development camp is essentially what I'd liken it to, like rookie camp in the NFL, right? It's just the idea is to get the players acclimated with the franchise, get themselves familiar with it, with the facilities and such, as well as the organization to kind of see what they've got in these younger players. So Beniers will be there. Shane Wright will be there. Jagger Firkus. Someone made a joke that when Jagger Firkus has a really slap shot goal, you could call it a Jaeger bomb. But it's a great opportunity to see some of these young guys. And also in that regard, the Coachella Valley Firebirds, basically the equivalent, it's like the Kraken's version of AAA, right, with the Mariners. You get what I'm saying? We'll be playing some of their games until I believe December up here on some of their home games at Climate Pledge Arena, because they're waiting for their barn down in Coachella Valley to be finished, and that should be in December. So you're going to get an opportunity with this development camp that's taking place right now, and when the Firebirds play, to see some of the younger talent for this team, which I think is pretty cool, especially since you want to grow that game of hockey. You want people to really embrace it more than they did. I know a lot of the people in this city already did, but you want to continue to build that. So that's how I think it's really cool. I'm excited about that, especially because we've been starved for Kraken content lately, right? I mean, it's like until we got here, that's been it. So what do we got for league news?
And we didn't go over this, but I think is our schedule out already, or is it preseason schedule?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
so of course, guys, it is out, but
yeah, we'll take a look at that next week. But just with all the stuff that we're going with, there's a long list that we have to read through. So we'll get to that. Good point out on that.
Moving on to some league news here. Some more historic hires. The Sharks made a historic hire as well. The Sharks hired longtime forward Mark Greer as their new general manager, the first Black person to hold that title in the NHL. So congrats to him. The Maple Leafs also made a historic hire. Toronto promotes Haley Wickenheiser to their assistant GM role, making her the fourth woman to hold that position in the NHL. So way to go, guys. Way to be on top of it and making these historic hires, joining the NFL and making a historic hire. So we love to see it. Moving on here to what we have looking ahead, July 11th through 14th, Kraken Development Camp, as mentioned by Chuck. And on the 13th, free agency begins. So that should be exciting as well for the league.